With IO Interactive being known for their successful Hitman franchise, we can't help but compare 007 First Light with it. Both are made by the same Stealth King in the same engine, though there are still a few major differences. So let's talk about the key differences between 007 First Light and Hitman. Though a specific number was never stated, IO Interactive did mention Hitman 3 did 300% better than Hitman 2, and Hitman 2 sold roughly 200,000 units during its opening days, meaning Hitman 3 was most likely sitting around 600,000 units. That's less than half of what 007 First Light made in 24 hours. Now, of course you could say, but it's James Bond. And it's years later as the studio has grown and the technology has progressed. Even their Glacier engine got upgraded. While all this is 100% true, Hitman 3 is not that old. It was released in 2021, only 5 years ago. That's quite a leap. James Bond and Agent 47 come from opposite spectrums of the espionage world. Bond is a roguish good guy spy earning his status, while 47 is a genetically engineered cold-blooded assassin. Bond is a war hero and Navy airman who was eventually recruited into MI6. His backstory, originally an orphan, positions him as a patriotic, deeply social character who relies on relationships and grit rather than just killing. He starts his career as a distinct, conventional good guy. He relies on charm, charisma, and occasionally high-tech Q-branch gadgets to get the job done. He is driven by duty to his country, protecting the world from global threats, and a desire to prove himself. 47 is a synthetic, generically engineered clone created by a rogue scientist to be the ultimate emotionless killing machine. His past is largely synthetic, crafted to breed unnecessary evil. He is a stoic, detached anti-hero. He relies entirely on his own custom toolkits, disguise mastery, and his environment cleanly engineer the deaths of his targets. He is driven primarily by fulfilling contracts, taking down nefarious power brokers, and slowly uncovering his own fragmented past. While Hitman gives us massive Swiss cheese-like sandboxes with hundreds of ways to eliminate targets, First Light focuses on narrative momentum. You get some open-ended opportunities for gathering intel or sneaking into restricted areas, but it is heavily structured to guide you from one story set piece to the next. Combat is a major focus here, which is not the case in Hitman. Gunplay is robust and snappy, featuring mechanics like slowing down time. There are also fast-paced vehicle sections essential to the James Bond fantasy. Instead of relying heavily on disguises as Agent 47 does, Bond utilizes improvisation, environmental distractions, and bluffs to slip past security. While Hitman strictly allows you to hunt targets aggressively without restrictions, First Light typically limits Bond to non-lethal combat unless enemies draw weapons and show intent to kill. When comparing the graphics of IO Interactive's 007 First Light against the Hitman World of Assassination trilogy, First Light delivers an upgraded visual experience. Built on the same Glacier engine, 007 features higher fidelity character models, advanced global illumination, superior bounce lighting, realistic hair rendering, and fluid motion captured animations compared to Agent 47's sometimes stilled movements. In Hitman, when you shoot vehicles, the car explodes and gets partially destroyed. In First Light, vehicles get fully destroyed with lots of flying debris, which adds the cinematic action. Same goes for explosive barrels. In Hitman, car windshields don't shatter, only the alarm goes off and you see some white cracks painted over the windshield. In 007 First Light, windshields are breakable. First you see some holes with cracks, and if damaged more, it shatters. This one is pretty clear. More variety and better physics. Though due to its time of release, Hitman had very nice physics, but in 007 First Light, you can see a clear improvement. Grass and leaves slowly bend around you, putting themselves back in place. The textures in 007 First Light show a generational leap in visual fidelity. First Light targets newer platforms and utilizes higher resolution textures, improved surface material rendering, and enhanced character models. IO Interactive used its upgraded Glacier engine to evolve rain effects. When comparing rain in Hitman and 007 universes, you'll notice a shift from environment-driven, systemic stealth into deep, cinematic physics. While both are stealth action games developed by IO Interactive, the core difference is that Bond fights to save the world as an underdog hero, whereas 47 operates as an apex predator working for hire. In 007 First Light, IO Interactive combined Hitman's dynamic social stealth and distraction systems with James Bond's trademark espionage by introducing us to the new bluff, lure, and takedown system. IO Interactive is giving players a versatile edge to lure enemies, bluff their way out of suspicion, or sharpen focus for precision combat. You also aren't allowed to kill without license to kill status active, because Bond doesn't shoot people that are unarmed, unlike in Hitman, where players have the ability, as 47, to shoot anyone, and also, after a takedown, are able to snap the target's neck. Maybe one could argue that Bond should have the ability to drag bodies and dump them in cover, like 47 can do, but that also takes away the possibility for other guards to notice something is up, leading into having an easier time working your way around in stealth mode, which is going to result into ditching a major key difference between 007 First Light and Hitman: improvisation over disguise. Right now, the bluff, lure, and takedown system is bringing Bond's charm and nuance style to light along with a puzzle factor to the game with multiple solutions, but with a limitation of non-lethal combat unless enemies draw weapons and show intent to kill. Maybe in the future, IO Interactive can cook something up, like being able to cover bodies, but if they don't meet with another guard after a while, other guards get suspicious. Who knows? But this key difference is a great start of setting the two apart, even though they share the same sandbox, engine, and game studio.